I mean, resources dry up.
They dry up completely. This thing hurts. If you see an athlete failing a drug test, pray for them because the journey ahead
is a tough journey.
It is
tough.
the word of God.
Right.
Because some things don't make sense in the moment, not even a motivation. But you know, when you read about these great men and women of God and the setbacks they faced, you know, David had to act mad. I don't know if there's a word because of his son, you know, and realizing that, you know, we're in God's will. We didn't do anything out of his will. So that also helped us just stay put and trust God. And it wasn't easy. Not many people know what this did to us, but financially, because of trying to prove the case, it drained us immensely. There's that we had to be evicted, like we literally from grace to grass. It was really humbling. Our character was tested, our marriage was tested. We lost everything.
But Mark, I still want to understand, when you look back, what carried you through? Because man, you're the man on the center of all this.
I'll say just the same thing what my wife said. It's just reading the word. That's what it's true, we've been teaching our teenagers, because if you can't anchor yourself in God's word, you'll feel like you are out of place. You'll feel like everything is crumbling. You'll feel like no one is caring. But at the end of the day, I heard every single day God was speaking. God was speaking, even leading up towards the day of the hearing. God was still speaking, and that's something that I was so motivated about. You know, there are times where, you know, today you're motivated, but tomorrow you're still back in the same place because. And then I realized just to allow myself to let my emotions run, you know, and I realized that
just to flow.
Yes, just to flow. And I've been hearing from God ever since, and even still. And I was really happy that at that point I didn't reach a point where I was like, you know what, let's just stop this, let's just give up, look for something else and move on. Yeah, so it's just been a fight and a fight. And the thing is that, you know, God has saw the victory, but it's true, we can't see the end at the moment, but he already saw what was coming.
No, I'm almost imagining Pastor Kev, who is a friend of mine, leading us in a song called "Is It Working?" and maybe other.
Oh my gosh, it's not working. It was not working for a while.
We're probably answering in faith. It's working.
So that's one thing. We jump in faith.
Just jump in faith. We shout in faith.
We
pray
do the glory trade.
We do the glory trade. Everything in faith.
Everything was in faith.
Yeah.
Your faith has been tested, man.
It was, because the thing is, you know, I even stumbled Joseph's story, because I even tried to figure out even with that guy. Anyway, one day if you go to heaven, I'll try and ask him what was going through. You know, the thing is, we weren't explained his emotions.
Yeah.
Exactly. We're just being told that guy was locked up for 2 years. 2 years.
For an offense he never committed.
For an offense that he didn't commit.
He was trying to do the right thing.
He was just trying to do the right thing. And then you're being closed. 2
years, and he was sold in slavery
and he was sold in slavery before with your brothers. I'm like, you're my family. You sold me. And then I'm going there. I worked hard, given a position. Then that position is being taken out. I'm being jailed for 2 years for nothing that I didn't do. And then now again,
I'm innocently behind the bars.
Exactly.
So we would love to sit down with him and just ask him the way how did you overcome?
How did you overcome?
No, he didn't have Psalms. At least we had Psalms.
Because he didn't have Psalms.
Didn't have Psalms.
And that dude is sitting 2 years.
2 years.
Faithfully 2 years.
2 years.
Waiting.
I don't know how his attitude was.
If he wanted to commit suicide, he was capable of doing it there.
Maybe at some point he thinks, maybe if I had done it, I would not be here.
Exactly. That's the same thing.
I would be free if I had done it.
Exactly.
I would not be in a jail cell.
Exactly. Now you say.
That must have been you guys. Because I'm trying to ask Mark, man, as you're going through all these cases of yours, you're still watching tournaments going on.
And not only going on, getting better.
They're getting better. You look at the timings of the guy who won and you're like, man,
that was
my time, man.
I'm like, I would have been there.
Living my life.
Living my life. I would have been there.
This, in fact, it's a miracle we are seated here. We'd watch Nyayo Stadium.
I've been watching every meet
without fail.
Without fail.
Once you're suspended, you're not allowed from midnight of the day of the event to be in the venue.
So you can't even come and watch
even the gate. You're not supposed to be touching
even
the gate.
The area. Let's just talk about the area.
Until the event ends for 24
So every other fan can come in, but you can't.
Nope, you can't. So you had to watch from home.
So for 2 years, you've not managed to join a stadium and watch.
That was even. I don't even know how. The last time I was here.
This is a miracle.
The Goldmine Show brought you back.
Thank you. I remember sitting here watching Max 200. This is the best angle for him to see the curve.
Yes.
And this is good. It feels good.
It feels nostalgic.
Yes.
Man, Yani, you couldn't even watch it in a live stadium.
No.
Both home and away.
Both home and away.
But I'm just asking, man. So you watch a guy, he's doing his 10.02. At your qualifying time, you had done 10.5, right?
0.5.
And if you had progressed on, man, that was going to be you.
Yeah.
Then you find our own guys have moved. They've gone to represent us. I don't know where. What goes through your mind? Commonwealth.
I was hoping that this case would have ended by Commonwealth, because I was really, at that time, to be honest, I was still training. I was still training by faith, knowing that if these things end, I'm not caught flat-footed. I was proceeding with
your training.
Yeah, with my training with you people, so that when the case ends, I'm in it. So I didn't know that it would take that long. It took more than a year and some few months. But at one point I was feeling to giving up. I was still feeling like to give up and just stop and be like, I'm not seeing the end goal, because the tunnel was not clear. The tunnel was not clear.
It just looks dark.
It was very. That was pitch black. When you talk of pitch black, that was pitch black. And at least now, after the hearing, when they say that now I'm being suspended for 2 years, now checking the time frame, and now I was left with 7 months. At least now that gave me hope. At least I know that July 31st going forward, I'm free. I'll miss the World Championships in Budapest. No worries. Thing is, I have my freedom card after Budapest, and the Olympics 2024, I'm in it. And then again, if you check this story clearly, I missed the Olympics and I'm back in the Olympics again.
It's been a full cycle.
It's been a full cycle.
Yes. Are the hearings virtual or are they physical?
It was virtual.
Virtual, so you'd keep showing up.
Yeah, it was just once.
Right.
It was once, and we had to sit down. It was like 8 hours. It was 8 hours.
So they're interrogating you, they're questioning you, or what happened?
Back and forth.
We had a lot of evidence because, like you said earlier, Mark has been very diligent. So his evidence was a lot. He had Google searches, he had his location to show where he went to buy, he had receipts, he had so many things to help him back his case. So it took quite a while for us to go through all that.
Right. And you said it's just a way some park can have some, what did you call it? Some traces of contamination. Maybe this park has, the other one doesn't have.
They call it hot batching, and manufacturers do this so that they can sell. So if they're having a slow year, what they'll do is they'll lace some multivitamins with a steroid. So when you take it, you feel strong. You even recommend it to your friends. And then now the next batch, when you go buy, when this one has run out, you go buy, of course you get a different batch. It won't be the same way, but because mentally and psychologically you feel like as if you're still strong. So that's what happened with Mark. He had been using this supplement since 2020. Never failed a test. He has to be tested a number of times before he competes. So Mark is on the testing pool. He had never failed any test.
All these meets you've been tested anyway.
Exactly.
Right.
Here, outside, like nothing has ever happened. And so we didn't think to even flag down this supplement because he had never failed a test before. And so, that's what happened to us.
It was just an unfortunate incident of the fact that then the one he bought ended up being part of the what is hot batched. And it has been laced a little.
Yes, it had been laced by negligible, very small.
Not even good enough to give you a boost.
It doesn't give you a boost, but it's enough to be flagged on, especially in a place like Tokyo, where the technology is very, very high. So what they can do is they can detect people who microdose. They put small steroids that will eventually add up to their win.
Right.
Yeah, so that's why I think they flagged us down.
And so that became the most expensive supplement you possibly have bought.
Exactly.
Was it?
Yeah, because of the testing.
Because of the test and the outcomes and everything. It cost you time and so many things.
Yes. Yes, it did.
So come 31st July and you know, man, I'm getting cleared. And by the way, so did you continue practicing?
Yes, I did. For the past 2 years I've been doing it. Even this year, going forward, we had to restructure our training with my coach and just work now with July 31st now going forward. Because we trained like the season, like just like a normal season. But now, going forward after December, we took a break. I think another 3-week break. I think we took 2 breaks. We've never taken 2 breaks. Now, even after the hearing, now my coach restructured everything. And he's like, let's see how this will go. Because now we were working now with July 31st. Now, after we try and at least look for, even if it's 1 race, come back, see where we are. So, yeah, everything worked at least well.
31st July, man. How did you celebrate that day? Must have been a massive day.
On July 30th we had church, and our friends who have seen us walk and seen how this journey has affected us organized a small surprise party just to celebrate Mark with trophies and medals, and it was really, really dear to us. We're really grateful for that. And so what did I do? I think I ate pizza, like a whole box. It just felt like a dream. It was, you know, when people used to say iki tutaisha, you never, when you're in it, you don't see it, but finally it was here. I just thank God.
It was like when the Lord remembered Zion, we were like them that dreamed.
Yes. The Lord truly remembered us. And He is to be trusted.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so finally we are free to do this thing. It must be feeling so good. What's the emotion actually?
The thing is that just thinking through it, I'm like, now it's over, but now you're left with that a bit of trauma because it's 2 years. Now every time when you enter, of course subconsciously, I think it will take some time feeling that you are free because of training alone. So entering into a stadium now you're cautious because you're thinking like maybe someone is watching you, trying to give someone an advice, because you're not supposed to talk to someone or give an advice to anyone. But it will take some time to wear off that I'm still in that freedom space. But at least moving forward, I know that I'm counted in next year's events, God willing, and at least now we have a plan going forward. And at least now my coach, we are both at ease that now we're back in competition, and at least now we are working towards something. Yeah.
You know, sometimes people don't know that sometimes this thing can go south.
That's true.
And maybe this is the stories we never get to hear.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like we'd really go hungry.
Right.
Because of course we are training, both of us, and then there's no food.
Right.
The food was a luxury at some point. So we'd take porridge and go to sleep. So in the midnight, at night he'd wake me up and be like, hey babe, niko njaa. So it was really hard. There were times I'd have to share a plate of food. He'd eat and leave for me the other half. But also I'm feeling like he's training. Maybe he needs, so sometimes when I hapo mwenye kuna haja most that I cooler.
Sometimes he also says you're also training.
Yeah, I'm also training.
So both of you are athletes.
Yeah, but I feel like he's a man. He's burning more energy than me. So I'd leave it for him, and he's feeling like a gentleman as well. And just being the provider, he'd leave for me his half. It was really, really...
I mean, resources dry up.
They dry up completely. This thing hurts. If you see an athlete failing a drug test, pray for them, because the journey ahead...
It's a tough journey.
It is.
Tough.
And you have to keep fighting to prove your innocence.
Yes. You have to keep fighting because we didn't do it.
Yeah.
And you know, there are moments where proving innocence is a tough job to do. Even when you know you're innocent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's not about you knowing you're innocent. It's about then convincing the other party
Yes.
to also then take the same view as yourself.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah.
And it has costed you, man.
It does. It has.
Legal fees.
Legal
But there was a time,
fees.
thank God for a lawyer who understood. So when we told her, man, food is hard, she came home and brought us rice and told us, I'm suspending your payments for the month until you guys are okay.
Yeah.
Back on your feet.
Until
Back
you're
on
back
your-
on your
yeah.
feet, don't pay me any money. So that helped at least. So at least if we get some money here, we'd buy something that really helped us.
And at this point in time, is either of you having any other different job that is going to give some income?
I started teaching.
Right.
Best students ever.
Right.
So that really helped. He works at Posta,
Right.
but because he's training, he was employed in Posta as an athlete.
Right.
Meaning you're trained and we pay you to represent the company. So
Right.
right now he's training but he's not representing the company. So there was that dilemma of, does he go to an 8 to 5 job and quit training? So he took an unpaid leave to just focus on training.
Right.
Because even the salary there was not enough to sustain us.
You know, sometimes we ask the cost, what the price of a dream is, and what the price of your vision is. And boss, it looks like your price was kind of steep.
Very. Because I still get, because the thing is, even the salary that you get, since you say that it's not enough, we have to tithe. Because we were evicted now, we had to go to a house that was even higher than what we were paying.
We didn't get
any amount to at least sustain us. So the thing is that we get the salary, tithe, hustle to top up to pay rent. Then now the next of the month, it's now God just we are like, God just provide for that. We have like another 30 more days to try and look for money, for training, for food, for everything.
But you show up faithfully every day.
But you just show up faithfully every day. You just show up faithfully.
So, man, they finally have cleared you up. And we have some beautiful challenges up ahead. And we have amazing opportunities up ahead.
Yes.
Recently, you actually flew out for
Italy.
Right. Tell us about that.
Well, it was just it was a God-given event because no one comes from suspension and then enters into a competition immediately. Because at least that one, they accepted us and they gave us 2 days accommodation. So we just went there and
we took a loan.
Because actually,
of course our resources are dried up.
Yeah.
There's no way we're getting airfare or visa money anytime.
So this is self-funded.
Self-funded.
Yeah, self-funded.
So we took a loan that we don't know how we'll pay for, but we'll pay.
Right.
But yeah, that helped at least. Yeah.
And just out of curiosity, why did it matter that you needed to take a loan to do this one? Why does it matter?
Because since I want to qualify for the Olympics, the journey starts now.
Right.
Because I can't wait again until next year and then start to do local. It's too late.
The local calendar, if there were local races, it would really help.
Yeah.
But the calendar ended before his suspension had run out. So the only races that are available right now are in Europe.
Yeah.
And
so he has to keep flying.
He has to keep flying
Yeah.
out.
Right.
He has to keep flying out.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Because Paris, here we come.
Here we
Yes,
come.
amen.
Paris, here we come.
Back like we never left.
Like we never left.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are going all
They don't know
yes,
what
we
he
are.
did. They don't know what he did.
Yeah.
So all set, you're gearing up for it.
Yes, I am. Now you see, now like I've explained, the journey starts now.
Right.
Because if we wait until next year, because the season starts opening up again next year,
Right.
Yeah.
that will be too
Too
late.
late.
Right.
Because it takes time. Training and competing are two different
things.
things.
Yeah.
So you're still there, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I still got it.
Yani, like you never left.
Like you never left.
So now you're putting in the effort, the work and everything else, working
Yeah.
with your coach.
Yes, we are.
Right. How is that coming up?
It's coming up well because you're even thinking of the next few months just to cut it.
Yep.
And then take a break.
Right.
And then start of season now, focusing now to next year.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It still remains a qualifier. Is it still 10.05?
Now it's 10 flat.
10 flat.
10 flat.
So he needs to hit his personal best to qualify.
Right.
But yeah, he can do it.
Aye.
He
He's
did
done
it.
it
He's
before.
done it
He's done it
before.
before.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're coming back like we never left.
Like
man.
he never left. Yeah.
And better.
And better, man.
Yes.
After all, Mark is back.
Yes,
Mark is back.
Yeah. I call him a name. I don't know if I should say it. I call him Otieno the Great. It makes him go, he dies, he
Otieno.
flashes.
You can even see the reaction.
I'll write it on your shoe.
Atiera the Great, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, this is absolutely amazing, guys, man. It's absolutely amazing. But you see, there's also a side of your life that I also want to bring up, because, and I must say, I'm really proud of you guys for a couple of things. For public disclosure, we go to the same church, and that's just how it is. And I have watched you consistently serve.
Yeah.
And I just want us to bring the element of faith in your journey, because I think it is one very conspicuous element of your lives. It's one of those that for some of you who watch from out there, man, we have seen. And it challenges me, it inspires me, it encourages me. But I just want you to talk a bit about the value of your faith in the journey that you're on.
The journey is that when you put God in it, you're not the one who's controlling everything. So if you leave Him to do everything in front, there are times where we are humans. It's like we want to take control over everything, but again, it won't work. But we've left everything into His hands, and just trusting that, putting Him in front, He's the one who's steering where we are going. And we do high school ministry in Nairobi Lighthouse Church. We normally deal with teenagers, and it's been a good journey, especially even working with teenagers, especially at that in the point of everything is scrambling down in your life, but one thing that never stops is serving in ministry.
Right.
We were so faithful day in, day out. There were times we were even told, even if you want to take a break, but we were like, no.
We are not taking no break.
We are taking no break, because this is something that it's keeping us going.
Right.
You get?
Right.
Because in the end, people will ask questions.
Yep.
How did you how did you handle hardship? How are you handling hardship during the now?
Right.
You get?
Right.
Yeah, and
which we just asked even today.
Yes.
Right.
And if you take a break, all the devil needs to do is send you another hardship.
Exactly.
That stops you. So you're not giving him any.
I can remember the number of times I've just driven into church and found you guys
we are just
grinning and waving and giving us such a smile.
Yeah.
And I would ask, man, where is your smile coming from?
Because the thing is, when hardship starts coming in, or tough things, one thing that will suffer is ministry.
Right.
And that's what we replaced it. We were like, it won't suffer. It won't.
It's ring fenced.
Yes.
Right.
And they're watching.
And people are
The
watching.
next generation is watching.
watching.
Will you crumble? Will you start therapy? Those things that's trending.
Right.
We're like, no, God.
Yeah.
It's God. So
Where did you get the smile from, man? I mean, you guys smiled at us when we came all the time.
it's just the joy.
I remember, it's the joy of the Lord. And I remember during the worship night that we had last week, where Miss Rebecca was saying, we asked for it, but now it has to flow outside. So that's something that was there.
And we weren't faking it.
Yeah, we weren't faking
because
it.
what we decided to do is we'll cry out in despair to God, but not in disbelief.
Yes.
So we were desperate, we were in despair,
Yes.
but we wouldn't go in and change the atmosphere of the room.
Exactly.
Right.
We're like, no, if you're happy, I'm going to tap onto your joy.
Yes.
So we'd go in and people would have good vibes, and we're like, okay,
Yeah,
you
we
tell
are
me your
tapping into
story.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're tapping into, so good reports would happen, or so we'd crave good reports.
Right.
Exactly.
Somebody has bought a new car, hey, we're going to hang out.
Celebrating with them, yeah.
Hang out with
Yeah.
the new car. If somebody has a baby, we are
Yes.
there. We'd be
Right.
there for our friend who got a baby,
Right.
and they needed babysit. We were
Right.
there.
You're
Yeah.
available, yes.
Yes,
Because there's a verse that-
celebrating with you.
Right.
So that also helped us.
Yeah.
Tapping onto other people's joy
Right.
helped us
Yeah.
sustain.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
good news fattens the bones.
Yep.
Fattens.
Yeah, it fattens the bones.
Yes.
But you said something very profound, that you can be in despair, yes.
Yes.
And I think faith does not fail to acknowledge what the fact is.
Exactly.
But then the fact is not the final settlement of the story.
Yes.
There is much more. I mean,
Exactly.
Yes.
and you go and bring your despair to God and just say,
Yes.
man, you've got to come through, man.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're not
You have-
faking it.
you're not faking it?
Yes,
Right.
yeah. And we're not like saying that this is not happening. We're
Right.
not being, we're
Hiding it.
not hiding it.
Mark
And
actually talked about allowing the emotions to flow.
yeah.
Yes.
Let it just flow. This is what it is,
No,
man.
if today you are feeling downcast or anything,
Right,
cry out.
right,
He's always there.
right.
And sometimes also acknowledging that your
Yeah.
feelings are not the truth.
Unajua saa zingine tunaambia mwanaume ni kujikaa ngumu.
Right.
No.
Right.
No.
Right.
We have feelings. Feel them. Let them
Right.
run out.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Take them to the right person.
And yeah,
Correct.
take them to the right person.
Correct,
That's true.
correct, correct. So I mean, and maybe sometimes when we when we fake it, maybe we stick in it longer.
Exactly.
You know, when you bottle ndani sana, the thing it should reach at one point where it will burst out. You start lashing at your wife, you start lashing at your kids, you start lashing at anyone, because the thing that happened 5 months ago, you're not being open with whatever that's going on.
So it's not getting processed because you've just bottled it in.
Exactly.
Right.
So unachukua tu naweka. So at one point when your bank ikivunjika,
You just blow up, man.
you just blow up.
Right.
So just becomes a mess.
Right. So for you, I mean, you have faced it day by day.
Yes.
This is where we are today. That's where we are.
Yeah.
Yes.
We deal with what it is.
Process it.
You process it and you don't suppress it.
No, you acknowledge
We
them.
acknowledge them.
Yes.
Because you know, unfortunately, sometimes you just put a strong face,
Yeah.
but nothing is getting processed on the inside.
Exactly.
So it's just building up and building up and building up.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'll hate it. I'll quit on it.
Yeah, you quit, you hate track, you hate
hate track,
everything
you
to
just
do
hate
with it, you hate
everything.
athletics.
You hate the people
You
who
hate
are near,
the-
even the people who help you.
Even the people who help you, hate
Yes,
them.
yeah, you hate
Anything
them.
that reminds you of Olympics, you hate
You
it.
hate it.
Now we like Olympics.
now
We're
we like
looking forward.
Olympics.
In fact, you end up
looking
being stigmatized.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because now it's your identity. You become one with your trauma, which is not. It's not our
become-
portion. One with your trauma.
My friend, that's a quotable quote. One with the trauma, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yani you and trauma is same.
Yeah,
Mko
you're
pamo-
not-
yes.
yeah. So you need to acknowledge that you're there. I acknowledge you.
Right.
And one day I'll be okay. But as of now, I am not okay.
I'm not
Right.
okay.
Yes.
And it's fine not to be okay.
And it's okay.
It's okay not to be
It's
okay.
okay not to be okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
But the power also of communities around you is quite something.
Very,
Very.
very.
I'd advise anyone, if you don't have a community, build it now, because trouble will come. If it hasn't come,
It's on the way
coming.
Yeah.
So start talking to people.
Right.
Yeah.
Start going for barbecue lunches. Start saying
Salimia
hi.
watu.
Salimia
Yeah.
watu. So that
You might just need them.
Yeah.
build those things
Right.
before it happens. So when it happens, you're not scrambling.
Right. Yes.
You're not crying. You're not going for medicine, pills to make you happy.
Right.
Start now. Build a community.
But you know, the community sometimes we refer to as social media,
no.
where we are just on WhatsApp, on TikTok, and stuff. That's the communities we build.
Yeah, there's one that it normally happens. You know, Kenyans, we are all one. Like when somebody is hurting, everyone will chip in. Of course, they don't have their own community, but the whole Kenyan culture is just connected to whatever's going on.
Right.
And
Kusaidiana.
yeah,
But even your online,
But that's
we're saying
online.
build.
Now,
Typically, it's
what
like a
you're
wave.
yes.
Yes.
Then
Now-
it dissipates. A
Then
week
yes.
later, no one even
Because now
remembers
you see
that.
those,
Remembers
yeah, no one
you.
remembers you. They
So
go.
build one-on-one.
Yes, build
If you're
one-on-one.
If you're a child watching this, talk to your parents.
Yeah.
Talk to your uncles. Like start building one-on-one conversations away from your devices and gadgets.
Right.
Because trouble is inevitable.
Right.
It will
Yes.
happen. If it hasn't happened, it's going to happen.
Right.
Yes.
So setting yourself up for success for when trouble actually does come.
Right.
Yeah.
And building the communities that walk you through that.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's very
And for you
important.
guys, things like the cell groups were very
Yeah.
helpful.
They
Very
were.
helpful. The high school ministry was helpful. Pastor Kevin
Right.
was really there with us with his wife.
Right.
All the pastors basically,
Right.
I think
they're
so.
They're all there.
Because now everyone knows you. If
Right.
somebody didn't know in church, now they know
Now they
you.
know
Yes, now
you.
You
they
knew
know
us.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've known you, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So that really helped.
It does. It does.
But also, you kept yourself engaged through and through. You
Yes.
kept
Yes.
serving the entire time.
Yes, don't pull away.
Don't pull off.
Yes. That helps us.
Because sometimes disaster gets us to isolate.
Yes.
That's what the enemy wants. You know,
Yeah.
he isolates.
Yeah, so lets you from the
He's
community.
prowling,
Right.
looking for that one.
He wants you
who's
to suffer.
Yeah.
Alone.
And the moment you are alone, like
You're
they
alone.
pounce me.
Hey. Exactly.
His job is just to kill, steal, and destroy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Has this experience made your faith stronger?
Yeah. Yes.
Very. Because at this point, I'm like,
If I didn't believe, now I believe.
Now I believe.
Right.
eh,
Right.
giants do have weaknesses.
Right.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I realized, especially last year when, our church normally have this theme because this is the year of breakthrough. Because
Right.
last year it was the year of
And
discovery.
we broke through.
And we broke
And
through.
you broke through.
And
Yeah.
we broke through.
You have a testimony to give.
Yeah,
Right.
we can stand and
Yeah.
say
We broke through.
we're a testimony.
Yeah.
Right.
So this just tell people that all giants have weaknesses because whatever it's true, whatever that you're going through, it's a giant, but
Right.
it has its own weakness.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
But it's also interesting. It looks like you guys have gone through like wonderful friends as well.
Yeah.
Very wonderful friends.
And we've seen friends in track, and we've seen friends outside track. Outside track is now the people now we've been serving in community in terms of church-wise, and we've also have good friends now in this sport.
And the friends outside track are those ones who say, even if you don't win, even if you are not an athlete, we'd still love you.
We still love you.
And that is very important. They love us regardless of our what we hold. So that really helped.
It's you they love.
It's us they love.
It's not even what you do.
No. Oh, this is a bonus.
This
is just a bonus.
Yes.
Right.
You running, you doing all these things, representing, it's a bonus.
Right.
But we love you as you.
Right.
Yes.
So that
it really helps. It takes the pressure out that we are not associated in terms of performance.
So even if we run and lose,
exactly,
we'll still love you.
We still love
you.
Even if you didn't start.
Yeah, even if it was super sport.
We're still gonna love
us.
Yeah, they still have, and that's a good thing. We should create something like that.
For everybody needs that.
Yeah. Even though you don't perform, even though you don't do 1, 2, 3, we are with you.
Even if you fail your KCP,
yes.
KCSE.
Because sometimes it's too conditional.
Exactly.
Yes.
You've got to meet this bar.
Exactly.
Otherwise, we are out.
Otherwise, you're out. Yeah.
Wow. Man, I'm just. Your story is overwhelming. Voila. Your story is absolutely overwhelming. And so we can look forward to you continuing to serve.
Yes.
Yes, for sure.
And we are there, not because that I'm back now, I'm withdrawing or anything. No, we are still continuing to serve even more. We are still faithful with everything that the church brings. We're always there. We're always there to support other people, and where we are still continuing.
For me, I think the integrity of what you teach now is a fact that it has been tested.
Oh yes, thank you.
And found to be tick. Tick. Correct. Because then for you, then this is not about teaching from reading books.
No.
This must be the overflow of your own journey. And at that point in time, I say you're sharing a piece of you. Now, at that point in time, it's no longer about books. It's not mental knowledge. This is you sharing a piece of you.
Yes.
Out of your experiences and out of your journeys.
Yeah. And in the end, God will take the glory, for sure. God will get the glory.
So we'd better free our calendars up for Paris.
Yes.
Yes. Are you coming?
Hey, my friend. I have interest, my friend.
Get your tickets now.
I need to get my ticket now.
Accommodation.
Accommodation.
Yes,
we do this thing together. We take the community in Paris.
Yes.
There we go, man.
You're invited.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And I want to wish you guys
the
very, very, very best. Man.
Thank you so much.
And I say it again, I don't know of anybody that can teach setbacks and how to rise past them greater than the authority with which you guys would speak it.
Thank you.
I don't think what you've gone through is easy by any shade of the imagination. It's tough. And seeing even the marriage together, because I'm sure even the marriage was tested.
Yes.
Yes.
How many yeses can I say?
Man, but the household, how was it tested?
Sorry?
How was the marriage tested?
Because I think people will see like she'll leave.
People thought I'd leave.
Yep.
But the test would be, we'd be like, did you do it? Or was it me? Or because we didn't know what it was then. So it's like, was it something I gave him? Was it something I cooked?
Was she here for the money?
Was I here for the So it was tested in that way. And there are days where he'd be sad. My husband is an introvert.
Right.
But he's not boiling it out.
Right.
And so he'd just go into his cave, and me, I want attention.
Right.
I'm an extrovert.
We need to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was also a test. Now understanding that this is how he's processing. It's nothing to do with me.
Right.
I haven't
just need some time to process it.
So you're always feeling, kwani nimekukosea? Why are you not talking to me?
Right.
And him is like, why are you pressuring me?
Right.
So we had to learn that at some point he'd have to come out of his cave and talk to me, and I'd have to let him process
the way he knows how to process.
Right. So finding that balance was.
And of course, you don't live in the cave though.
No.
At some point, you exit the cave.
Yes, you have to.
Right.
You have to.
Right. So some people thought you'd leave.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever think of leaving?
No. That was not on the.
It was not even on the table.
Option.
So somebody who came and told us that people were waiting to see
me leave
the marriage and be like,
and
defend for yourself.
It's a contract. A contract is if he doesn't uphold his end, which was provision, I think at that point.
Right.
I am obliged to leave.
Right.
But that's not marriage.
Right.
Marriage is a covenant.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where I think we get it wrong.
Correct.
So a covenant is whether or not you keep your end of the deal,
Right.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Right.
So when guys were like, oh, you're a strong wife, You stayed. I'm like, what was the option?
Right.
Like,
What did you expect?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it in a bad way, but I
Right.
didn't see any other way. In fact, now more than ever, he
Right.
needs me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You know, sometimes I think beautiful stories are not told loud enough and often enough. And really, this is why we do the Goldmine Show. Because then there are beautiful stories like yours that need to be heard and need to be told. So that then we're not just drinking from the cup of misery all the time.
Yes,
And the
yes.
cups of dysfunction and all of that stuff. Because beautiful stories like yours must be told. Man, guys, man, I'm so proud of you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
I am just so proud of you. Man.
Thank you.
sana.
Na hii story ya Paris.
Tukutane.
Tukutane Paris.
Tukutane Paris.
We kutane in Paris, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming through.
Oh,
Thank you so
kabisa.
much.
Asante sana. Thank you
And
so much
Yani.
for hosting us.
I'm blessed.
God bless.
Just listening to your journey,
Oh.
man. It was well worth the wait.
Oh, thank
thank
you.
We waited a while for this one.
Thank you.
It's been worth the wait, man.
Thank you so much.
And I must give a big shout out to all the leaders that worked with you, man.
Yes.
Yani, the Nairobi Lighthouse crew,
Thank you.
you're the greatest, man. I mean, surrounded you all the way and stuck with you.
Yes.
Brilliant stuff, man. Well, folks, man, I don't know whether you're as inspired as I am. As we said at the top of the show, life happens to all of us. But the real testing is not what happened to you, but how you respond to it. 10% is what happens to you, as they tell us. 90% is how you choose to respond to it. But listening to that journey, then you know how you respond to it is a function of the deposits you had way before the event happened. Man, if it finds you on an empty, maybe it might be a bit of a challenge. And I hear them saying to us, build the reserves that make it possible for you to deal with it a whole lot better. And boss, if you still have not been withdrawn from a race at the Olympic Stadium, and if your story has not been covered by the international media, where you have to prove your innocence even when you know you are, then I don't know whether you still have a good reason to quit on yourself. Most likely, man, you may just want to reconsider because, man, my good friends were given a setback, not on a small stage, but on a massive global stage. But they have endured it. They have kept the faith. They have kept their marriage. They have kept everything it takes to come back like they never left. I want to remind you there is greatness on the inside of you, my friend, and you cannot quit on you. You've got to keep believing in you. You've got to keep giving yourself a chance no matter the setback. Keep it going, my friend. Keep believing in you. Pay the price for your vision. It is possibly well worth it, because that is what the gold mines do, man. Until next time, what I invite you to follow us on the Goldmine Show on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and everywhere else. But also share this story and let's encourage somebody. I'm sure you know of somebody who is about to quit. Man, share this stuff with them. It is good stuff. It is fantastic stuff. And let's keep encouraging one another that we cannot quit. We go all the way. And one more time, man. Aye. Golden people, Buana. Golden people, thank you.
Thank you.
I love you guys for free. I love you guys for free, man. Until next time, God bless you, man. Keep working the greatness inside of you. And as we say it on the Goldmine Show, keep becoming.